Today's episode is sponsored by Rocky's Travel and Life Hacks to make your life a little easier and a little better. Number 1, if you can spare it, don't cut corners when it comes to your travel comfort. I've done both, and having paid a wee bit more to have a safe home base and a comfortable trip is way better, and you can believe that. Number 2, find time to pack the day before you leave to go home. Number 3, on the plane, just sit when we land. You're gonna get off, but unless you want to stretch, which I know you can wait to do, because what if we were still in the sky? It's only another 5 or 10 minutes. Wait until about 2 rows ahead of you are standing, then make your move. The whole debacle of everybody standing at the same time is truly adding 5 or 10 minutes to our exit. Be on the solution side. Number 3, check the shower and the bed sheets before leaving your hotel. Number 4, if you have garbage in your hand, wait until you reach a garbage can. Throwing your trash in an overflowing trash bin or on the ground next to other garbage just because other garbage is there, that's not who you are. We both know that. Number 5, dance. Number 6, if you walk into a bar and you don't like the energy of that bar, leave that bar. There's a better one. And number 7, find your people in this life. Don't waste your time with acquaintances who bore you or people who don't get you. Your people are out there waiting and excited to meet you.
Time for
Duh.
Rocket Run.
Duh. Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello. Did you have a good week? Did you perhaps go to New Orleans and almost lose your voice like me? Well, whether you did or you didn't, you're getting ready to hear all about this trip, so strap in. We gotta start at the airport, cause you know if I'm flying, we gonna have a couple obstacles. I packed, and I'm a good packer. I also check my bag up to 5 times before I leave the house, because one time at Newark, flying to Chicago, security was rifling through my bag. A lot of pockets, a lot of compartments, and I had a knife in there. Totally by accident, not owning the knife, but traveling with it. Security never found it, but I found it when I got to my hotel room in Chicago. So I had to throw the knife in the trash can. Hey, TSA, check people's bags better. Thank you. I had no intention or desire to hurt anyone on that plane, but what if I did? But this isn't about a knife fight in the skies of Chicago. This is about New Orleans, god damn it. I'm at security and I get called over by the security guard. What I did have in my bag was 3 nips of tequila. We going to New Orleans, and this flight was bring your own bayou. Have you heard of the new TSA federal law? As he held my 3 precious bevies. Be cool, Powell. Don't let him see you sweat. Nah, I haven't heard of it. Real smooth. If you're gonna bring 3 bottles of tequila, you gotta bring a 4th. Oh, okay. Mr. Security got jokes. And you know your girl loves jokes. Give me my bag, Don Rickles. I got a wedding to attend. The day before, I called the hotel to see if they could put me and my friends on the same floor. They said we could, and they would. My room upon entering... Again, we got problems. Half-eaten pizza box from a previous tenant, some root beer, and a dirty-ass bed. You know me. I don't like to cause a ruckus. So I wait for 30 minutes in Scott and Anthony's room, which their room had bloody fingerprints and a boot stain on the wall as if someone was being dragged out forcefully. They also had a stunning view of the pool. No one comes to clean my room, so I finally go down there, and they're apologetic. So apologetic that they upgrade me to a motherfucking King Deluxe suite. So much room for activities. And after all my hard work to keep my friends on the same floor, I ended up on a different floor. Did I need to tell them to adjust my heat 3 different times because the shit was set to peak Boca Raton in August? I did. Now the fun can begin. The reason for my NOLA trip was because two of my nearest and dearest besties, Mike and Katie, were getting married. This is incredible because our whole crew got to come down there. Just fucking epic people. My friends are so special, so funny, and man, we had a good time. We made our way to welcome cocktails, we got some gifts from Katie, and started reviewing the deets for the next few days. But we couldn't stay at welcome cocktails for too long because we had plans to go on a ghost tour. Ooh, spooky. I don't want to knock anyone's hustle, so I'm not going to say the name of our tour guide. You can DM me and I'll tell you if you are interested in doing a tour guide and don't want to get bamboozled, but I'm not in the biz of putting hardworking people on blast. The only thing scary about this ghost tour is that we paid real human money for it. I couldn't understand this motherfucker. The gang couldn't understand this motherfucker. Jesus, Lamb of God, wouldn't have been able to understand this motherfucker. He had a case of the wet mouth. You know the type, spitty ass mouth with the responsibility of saying a lot of S words. All he did was speed through his script so he could get back to, I don't know, recording his own voice, saying his own name, and claiming that it was a ghost in his home. My mans, if you're going to play that recording for us over your cell phone, at least get a Bluetooth speaker. We passed another ghost tour on our walk, and the host saw me and said, "And that's her," in reference to an old ghost. Why? Why'd he summon me out of our crowd? Probably on account of my loud outfit and mouth. The second reason might have been divine intervention. It might be the reason that you're listening to this podcast right now. Because then he asked me, "Do you know any ghost stories?" And he let me take the floor. He walked away and turned his back to talk to someone, and I said, "Hello, everyone. My name is Rocky Powell, and I'm a comedian in New York City. I host the podcast called Wild Nights with Rocky Powell. Perhaps you've heard of it. If not, here's my card." Yes, I did have enough for everyone. The guide turned around and said, "Hey, are you buskin'?" What a quirky word. Buskin'. Buskin'. Yes, I am. I think. Here's my card. I'll give you a shout out on my podcast. Now that guy's ghost tour was legit. The rest of the night took us to a couple karaoke bars where Natalie and I sang Take Me or Leave Me, and I don't want to say it, but we tore the house down. I said I didn't want to say it. I didn't say I wasn't gonna say it. Then the numbers dwindle, people wanting to conserve their energy for the weekend, people tired from traveling and early wake-up calls, etc., etc. But myself and my friend Sarah, we were ready to party. So where did two good time gals go to have some late night fun in Nolans? The strip club, baby. The two of us sat front row center ready to make it rain. I like strip clubs, and I know why. Entourage. I used to love the TV show Entourage. Being in a strip club makes me feel like I'm in the episode with Seth Green where he keeps calling the guys the We Don't Drink Jaeger Club because they didn't drink Jaeger and he did. And then I didn't drink Jaeger because they didn't drink Jaeger. And then Johnny Drama punches the guy in the face at the strip club while break stuff is playing in the background because he isn't 100% secure in his sexuality. We know this now. Evolution, growth, growing. We didn't know this then. So I'm a party at a strip club. I even got on the pole myself. Not recommended at all by anyone on staff. I'll tell you that much. And I hit my head real hard. Sometimes I'm the turtle of the group. Ended the night with my friends dancing to 90s hip-hop and laughing. Day 2 was the welcome dinner for everyone, and there was dinner, there was drinks, there was laughter, there was merriment. There was an outdoor patio area, and I know what you're thinking. And yes, we did light up a joint in this outdoor patio area. And yes, the manager did come out and tell us to put it out. And yes, she did say something about the building and the 1800s and how it can't handle smoke, even though it was outside. And that it's from the 1800s when literally chimney sweep was a job and everything was lit by fire in the 1800s. I think our precious baby angel joint wasn't gonna be sending out any smoke signals tonight. But we put it out because we had to respect the goddamn rules. The next day was the wedding, so we did want to keep it a little more low-key casual, especially for the bridal party. We had to be at the bridal suite at 8 a.m., and a lot of the guys were asking why. Why so early, and can't you just go in shifts? No, you can't. It's part of the bonding. It's part of the wedding. It's part of the womanhood. No woman in the history of getting their hair and makeup done for a bridal party has ever wanted to go first. So we got to ride it out together. And it was so much fun. Katie bought us all these beautiful pink robes to get ready in, and we drank mimosas and we danced and we cheersed while piling on beds and empty bathtubs. My wish for gals with gal pals who are bridesmaids together, giggle and pee with the door open and tease each other. It's excellent for your soul, and it's a beautiful way to send off your bride bestie with a bang. The next move was to get these kids hitched. These two were so positively gorgeous and stunning that they could have been in a magazine. An Instagram ad for a bridal store. They looked so motherfucking fly that if you bought the frame at the frame store, you'd rip up the picture that you were gonna put in it and keep my people on the mantle. After the I-dos, we all guests included, went outside to do a second line. No, not that kind of second line, you hack. A parade. We shut down the streets of New Orleans with a live jazz band and danced around in our parade for 2 entire blocks. We were like that song, Dancing in the Street. Down in New Orleans, we're dancing in the street, dancing in the street. All we needed was sweet music and we had it. More dancing from a live band inside for the rest of the wedding. They played Lose Yourself, which is what I think was the ultimate peak. Millennials dancing to live band Lose Yourself is a thing of beauty, let me tell you. And at the after party, we were once again told that you can't smoke weed on the patio. NOLA 2, Stoner 0. I got into bed. It was a blur of dancing and tequila shots. I was ready to sleep till 11, go to the goodbye brunch, and head to the airport back home. The universe had a different plan for me. I got a phone call at 10:30 a.m. from Scott. I was threat level corpse and had just put out a wanted ad for the desire to roll over. Give me 30 minutes, Scott. I'll call you right back, I heard my brain say. But the quickness in which I was texted right after signified this was no ordinary phone call or text. The text said, "Hi there, our flight was canceled. We got the 1 p.m. I called him back, and with Scott's impeccable timing, he told me that Tim was on the way at that very moment. And Tim, my dear friend, came with passionate bangs of vigor on my door, confirming the accuracy of our canceled flight news. I, unfortunately, was in no position to open the door for Tim. Me, naked here, sprawled out like SpongeBob's best friend, the door locked over there with no connecting string for me to tug on and let my friend into the room. They moved our flight to Monday morning with a layover in Boston. This was not going to fly. Literally. First of all, JetBlue, what are you doing? Second of all, the New Orleans gods had spoken. They wanted Rocky to stay. So I bought a new flight home for 1 p.m. on Sunday, and then I extended my room one more night. I succumbed to my fate. A Saturday night in one of the greatest cities I've ever known with some of the greatest people I've ever known is heaven on earth. I'm a believer in karma. I'm a big believer in reincarnation. What I subscribe to is heaven, hell, and purgatory. That's your life, broken up into moments. Hell is the most painful moments, the agonizing ones. Purgatory, the boring, the mundane, and the monotonous. And heaven is not a care in the world. Bliss, happiness, cheer, love, laughter, good environment, safety. I can feel when I'm having an I'm in heaven moment. Wearing a dick made of balloons as a crown proudly while walking the Bourbon Street with a tequila soda in my left hand and a group of solid friends on a warm and sunny Saturday night. That's heaven to me. We were making our way down Bourbon Street to get to Frenchman Street where all the live bands were going to be playing. Bourbon Street is loud, parts smell like vomit, and it's a walking cliche. But it's also pretty darn perfect. My friend Alex and her husband, they're not fans. She expressed it to me in a very matter-of-fact way, and she's such a high-frequency person. She was going with the group and the flow. But I was aware of how she felt, and I felt a twinge of sadness as the leader of the Party God Squad, that this would have to change and quickly. We still had quite a bit of Bourbon Street to walk. One of us had to pee, so we stopped in a bar with a couple of older male rock and rollers. Alex shouted out, "Play the Dead!" because she loves the Grateful Dead. And immediately they played the Dead for her. Sure, they were playing for all of us in the bar, but really, it was the universe saying, Bourbon Street belongs to you too, Alex, and I'm here to give you this gift. Alex loves Bourbon Street now. We made our way to Frenchman Street, and when we got there, we went to the Frenchman Art Market. We went to a booth called Heartwork Art. The jewelry was exquisite and original. There was a tarot deck, handmade, the best booth. It was run by Asa and Stephanie. Big shout out to them. Their slogan is artwork to make your heart work. And we love that. They're just good people, man. At Heartwork Arts on Insta, there's a link to their website. If you happen to stumble into them in your travels, tell them I sent you. And I won't ever forget them. Support their work if you're able to. More shout outs. Melissa, our Uber driver, who had the sweetest laugh I've ever heard. Jairon from Blue Nile. Matt Smith, also from Blue Nile. V from Cooper's. I know I'm missing you. Beautiful singer from the last bar we went to on Saturday night. I am so sorry I forgot your name. You had the most gorgeous Eve haircut and color from her Who's Dat Girl days. You tore the motherfucking house down. But in my tequila-filled haze, I forgot to write down your name. And if you're listening, please remind me of it by sending me a message. And this right here is an absolute invitation to be a guest on this show. I would be honored. Dancing, hugs, love, laughter closed out my last night in NOLA. Grateful for this trip is an understatement. Mike and Katie, thank you for putting this together, and I cannot wait to be by your side as you start your life as husband and wife. I love you both very much. Congratulations, banditos. In lieu of Rocky's highest thoughts this week because of the lack of weed consumption and general debauchery, instead I'd like to say something that I'm really thankful for. I would like to say a big thank you to my home, the one that I was away from, the one that I was able to come back to. Homes, when you build yourself a safe and comfortable one, are the best things you could arrive back to. Sometimes home is a place, and sometimes home is a person. If you're truly blessed in this life, it's both. When the fun is over, or even when you're living through the not so fun, if you have one of those two things, just get yourself home. Go where you're watered. Surround yourself with people who will water you. If you think of yourself as a plant, plants that are cared for with love and sunshine, they grow and they flourish and they provide the world with beauty. There is no reason to be somewhere where you aren't being loved and watered. Not when you have a home. My guest this week is the talented beyond belief, hysterical beyond measure, comedy god, Dylan Adler. Is Dylan a Kate Hudson movie? Because my guy is almost famous, and his wild word was drag queen. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Wild Nights with Rocky, and on Twitter at Wild Nights Pod. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, you can also subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to support the Wild Nights family with your wallets, you can join my Patreon for $2 or $5 a month, so I can go back to New Orleans and provide you more content, baby. A big thank you to everyone who's written a review on Apple Podcasts, and a big thank you to everyone who's going to write one after this episode is over. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Dylan Adler. Dylan, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Rocky. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm very happy to have you here. This is a really great way to spend a Saturday afternoon. You are just such a delight on the internet. And I feel like we've been like weaving. I think we have a lot of mutual friends here and there.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like we've been two ships passing in the night. And so I was like, you know what? I'm about to crash into his ship.
Crash that ship. I'm so happy you did it. We do have a lot of mutuals. Yeah.
So I'm glad to finally meet you. Actually, my brother said he worked with you on a project. Howard Powell. Does that ring a bell at all?
Oh, I think so. It might have been like a film.
Yeah, something like that. He said he was like, he was the reason. He was like, Dylan, like, get Dylan on your podcast. And I was like, yeah, I have seen him. And then I looked up, I started like watching more of your stuff, and I was like, oh my God, my heart, I'm in love. So
thank you.
He especially wanted me to tell you that he loved your Super Bowl song.
Oh my God, that's so nice. I appreciate that.
Yes. And Super Bowl, usually falls on a Sunday. Usually you can find me on a Sunday at my neighborhood drag brunch spot.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So drag brunch was
Drag brunch, but drag queen was your
but
wild word.
drag queen was my wild word to get me
Yeah.
into the crazy ass story.
So let's hear it.
So I'll just get into it. I'll just get into
Yes.
it. So I want to take the viewers back
Let's do it.
to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Ariana Grande's new album was top of the charts. It
Oh,
was Christmas break. Yeah, it was like basically my whole internal soundtrack was like, thank you. Next,
next.
that was top of the charts.
I have to say,
Um,
with that album, it's a front to backer for sure. I think
it
only
is, it is.
ghosting I can skip, but everything else, it's a front to backer for me.
It's a really, really good album.
Yeah.
That is a really great album. So I was home for Christmas break
Hmm.
and I was with my brother. I have an identical gay twin brother.
That's iconic.
I know, where's the pilot, right?
Hello.
Pilot, but
I was
I
actually going to ask if you were identical or fraternal.
we're identical and we're also both gay.
Hmm.
So yeah, I people don't think that's real. I'll like people think but it's unfortunately real.
That's so
And
fun.
it's fun. He's honestly my best friend. I
Yeah,
call him every
good.
day. I call him every day.
Good.
So we were home for Christmas break, and for Christmas we were staying in we live near San Francisco,
Hmm.
but we thought maybe we do a fun thing. We stay the night in San Francisco, and so that's what we did. We stayed the night in the San Francisco in the city, and at night, me and my gay twin were like when the parents and sister were asleep, we're like, we should go to a gay bar. We should go to a gay
Right.
club. So we decide to like get a car to a gay club. And at the gay club, it was a fun time. It was me and my brother at this club. And I was kind of striking out. I wasn't
Okay.
getting any. And I was like drinking Long Island iced teas. I'd say like by 1 a.m. I was like 3 Long Island iced teas in. I no longer drink, and this story is partly why.
I was going to ask, is Long
um,
Island iced tea, is that the norm or not anymore?
not anymore,
Got
but
it.
when I was going out and I just wanted to get fucked up, that was like my drink of choice. Like
Got
I
it.
would just go for Long Island iced teas. And so I was like not having a good time. And then I turn and I see my twin brother is
Hmm.
getting lifted up by someone and like making out with someone. And I was like, oh my God, I am not having a good time. So I storm over to him and I'm like, Max, let's go.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, no, I want to have a good time. And so I was very angry. I like by like the end of the night, I did like finally like meet someone, and then there was a little sparks, and then at the end it was like, okay, Max, let's go. I'm
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of here.
yeah.
And then it like took him 10, he was like saying his goodbyes and getting a number. And then he walked outside, and I was kind of like an angry drunk. So I was like,
Hmm.
Max, you're paying for the Uber, bitch. And
Yeah.
he was like, I feel like you always get angry at me and I always have a good time. And yeah, basically I was like, you're getting the Uber. And then we started to get into an argument, and then we
Uh-huh.
got into the Uber, and then we were crying in the Uber because of this argument.
Hmm.
And it was a little contentious. And then we got back to the place we were staying. And then like we fought, but then like we solved it immediately. Like me and him, we like I don't know like if this is the thing with siblings, but like we fight like incredibly intensely, say horrible things, and then
Right.
like the next minute like it's chill, like we're okay.
I think, yes, with siblings, it's tough to do that kind of stuff, especially I feel like maybe you agree, like as you get older, you're like, ooh, words can be like super vicious, but it is like the safe space to be your absolute craziest self because they literally
Craziest,
know you.
bitchiest.
Yep.
Exactly. Like I feel like Max Tangent, like through my life, is like the only person I was able to like be angry at and like
Yeah.
really like so yeah, yeah, that's and like him with me too. He couldn't like we couldn't like talk back to our parents or
Right,
like
right, right.
talk back to authorities. So like so we were like we could be absolute like to each other, and
Yep.
then like but then we like made up and it was chill. And then I was like, I was like extremely drunk and saying
Mhm.
shit that did not make sense.
Yeah.
And I was like throwing up in the bathroom. And then he thought, ooh, maybe to help, I'll give him an edible.
Okay.
So he gave me an edible. Um, oh my God, wait, I was just remembering like when I was throwing up, I think he recorded a voice memo of it and some things I was like, you know, when like you do the thing in it and it's like not the thing, but it's
Yeah.
like in it. And then
Yeah.
like I forget. I was like, I was really trying to make a point, but I it
No points were
wasn't
made.
no, no points were made. He gave me the edible. He gave me the edible, and then I pass out, and it's
Oh my
like 4
God.
a.m. And so then we wake up at 8 a.m. because my mom booked a drag brunch for us, a Christmas themed drag brunch,
We love to
which
see
is
it.
very nice. Yoshiko is an ally. She's very much like rolling with the gays. She loves, you know, so she booked us a drag brunch.
Uh-huh.
And then we go to the drag brunch. And at the drag brunch, I can already feel like myself dissociating a little bit,
Hmm.
feeling like outside of my body.
Right.
Like, yeah. And so we get to the venue and like there's like you can get food beforehand. And at the place, I start to realize, oh my God, I am losing my sight. I'm losing my
Whoa.
sight. And then all of a sudden I'm losing my hearing. All I could hear was like, it was like fish. It was like people were whispering to me, but they were like in my face, like, Dylan, are you okay? Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah. Muffled almost.
Muffled. And then all I saw was like TV static. It was the world. I could see the world as it was, but it was like all I saw were like shadowy TV static images of like my family around me.
Right, right.
It was
So it was a
fucking
whole
crazy.
family affair. Your mom
It was
booked it.
my mom booked it. My whole family was there. It was, you know, my whole family was there. It was like a lot of different families there. It was like at a hotel where this drag brunch
Wow.
happened. So I was like dissociating and I was like, Dad, should I go to the hospital? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? And he's like, no, I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
Yeah.
And then like we had to admit, like, yeah, we got really drunk last night and like gave Dylan an edible and stuff to like tell him like my dad was going on. My dad's a doctor and he was like, no, you'll probably be fine. And we were like,
Okay.
okay.
There was a doctor in
Um,
the house, so you had a
there
little
was a doctor
confirmation.
in the
Yeah.
house. There was a doctor in the house. But like he's a doctor, but weirdly he's like, no, you're chill. You're like just like rest.
He's like, bitch, it's my
Sometimes
day off.
exactly. When it's like, are you sure? Like
Yeah.
I'm really like bleeding or something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, like so and then like suddenly like it my hearing began to like slowly come back and my sight began to come back and like emotions were all over the place. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And then like right at that moment, the brunch started and the
Right.
drag queens came out. Bop, bop, bop. There's no business like show business. And then the host Donna Sachet started out with her opening number. She was doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, you know, drag queens like kind of they do crowd work. They're really good at crowd work. And then she got up, she saw me and she was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Dylan." And she was
Uh-huh.
like, "Dylan, you look crazy, Dylan." And then everyone laughed except my family.
Because they knew
So
what was up.
they knew what was up. And I was like, "Oh my God, kill me now."
Yeah.
But then the show continued and it was a fun show and like you know like the vibes were good and then at the end like even though the drag queens like that drag queen roasted me, we took a picture with them and it was
Okay.
so I mean like now I laugh about that story, like about how
Right.
crazy it was, but it's like that I would consider that to be like a wild night, you
Oh,
know,
it
and
certainly was.
morning.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So your family, when you told them that you all, like the two of you the night before had gotten super drunk, took the edible, were they
Yes.
chill or were they like, I can't believe my babies would do this?
No, they were chill. They were like, okay, that's what it is. Let's
Yeah.
my mom is like a cool like she drank in high school and like
Uh-huh.
really partied and like
Yeah.
she thought we would. And like in high school, she would be like, Dylan, if you're ever at a high school party and you're drunk, call me, I will drive you home. And I'm
You're
like,
safe.
Mom,
Yeah.
I hang out with theater virgins and we just play charades. You have nothing to worry about.
Wow.
So
Wow.
she was chill. She was chill. Like she would like so and so my dad was like a like I think he didn't like that we went out and drank and like did weed.
Right.
But
Did weed.
did a weed, but he was more like, okay, this is the situation how it is. We have to
Yeah.
just manage it.
And we trust them.
Yes, yes, yes.
There was a lot of
Exactly.
trust.
So
With theater kids, I always feel like there's two sides of the coin. I'm a theater kid myself.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, not to brag, but I was 2005 or sorry, 2000. Yeah, no, 2005, 2004's Yenta and Fiddler on the Roof. So like you can
Oh
just
my
hold your applause.
God.
It's no big
Wait,
deal.
2004,
Yeah.
where? What?
In at West Haven High School.
That's incredible. I know that's a very competitive theater program in West Haven.
It's very
So
competitive. Dee Dee
that's
Pickles went to my
incredible.
school, so no big
Dee Dee
deal.
Pickles? That sounds like a made up name. Dee Dee Pickles.
Did you ever watch Rugrats?
What? Dee Dee from Rugrats?
The mom, Dee Dee Pickles,
Shut
Tommy's
that.
mom.
Oh my God. Is it the Butch mom?
No,
Who's
no,
like,
that's
hey,
a
I'm brought carrot stew to the
no, that was a Betty.
Betty. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
that was Betty. Dee Dee was Tommy Pickles' mom, and she went to
Oh
my
my
high school,
God.
but she was not auditioning that year
That's
because she
amazing.
already had a career established.
That's
So
amazing.
I feel like with theater kids, there's two sides of the coin. There are the charadesy, fun theater kids who are like, let's like reenact a musical, or there are the kids who are like fucking and sucking, you know?
That was not the theater kids I hung around. The theater kids I hung around, like, yeah. I mean, like, I've heard like people are like, theater kids are the craziest and horniest and druggiest. I'm like, the group that I hung out with, we like all didn't drink until
Right.
like we were 20. Like it
That's
was,
funny.
yeah, we hung out, we hung out with a particular crowd, but on they're still our good friends to this day.
Yeah, I know that. I feel like theater friends, they stay for a long time. And then did you go to college for theater as well?
I went for music composition, so like
Oh,
kind of adjacent a little bit.
well,
Yeah.
that's good because you write so many. First of all, you write your own songs, but you also write like a lot of very funny parodies.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, your parodies rock.
I thank you. I'm happy that somehow in my what I do now, I'm able to like incorporate what I went to many years of school for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have a particular process like with how you're like, okay, I'm gonna write a song, or does stuff just come to you and you just say, okay, now I can build from there?
With a comedy song,
Yeah.
for a comedy song, it'll usually start out as like a premise of like I want to write a song about this experience, about
Yeah.
like this what I'm feeling right now. And so I'll pretty much like I'll start like fucking around on the piano and feeling
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what's like funny music to juxtapose this these lyrics and this
Right.
feeling and like kind of play around with that. And then like when I was in New York, I would like go to mics or shows and like with
Mm-hmm.
the piano and like try it out. And then like usually if it like hit, then I would like keep trying and like building on the song and adding verses. And then
Yeah.
like basically like the melody and lyrics would stay for the most part the same. But the mostly what would change are the lyrics. So I'd
Right.
like try to workshop lyrics and see what hits and what doesn't. And if something hits more and I like it, then I'll keep it. And if it's like starting to like kind of tank the song, I'll take it out. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what it was. But I also do a lot of like quick hit musical stuff. So I'll like come up with a short thing. If it doesn't work, I won't do it again. If it does work, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I keep
So yeah, I guess that's kind of what how I like to come up with musical bits and musical songs.
Do you have someone in your life when you're trying out new things that you've written that you go to and say, is this funny? Are you laughing? Or that you just is your tester?
I so I used to show them to my brother because I
Uh-huh.
know I'll get an honest opinion from him, and
Of
I've
course, yeah.
learned he is a bad gauge. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because like I'll try out things to him, and he's like, that is fucking great. Go
Yeah.
and do it. And I'm like, wait, this bombed. And then they'll show him something. He's like, not my fave, and then it'll kill. I'm like, you are a bad gauge, Max. So I've started to like just go out and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just try it, see
Mhm.
how it goes. And also, I would, I have a roommate who's also a comic. Sometimes I'll
Mhm.
run things by him and he'll like think of things like tags or things to add to it too. So I think that's kind of how I go about it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you can always get that honesty from your sibling, but your brother does not do comedy, right?
He
He
doesn't, but
doesn't.
I get that honesty.
Yeah,
He
you
is
need that.
honest. I need that. It is good to have that. It's like he'll never bullshit me.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
And now what do you have coming up that you're really excited about?
Coming up, I have a solo show in New York that I'm doing
Uh-huh.
April 15th.
Oh my goodness, that's so soon. That's a
I
Friday night,
know.
right?
Friday night at the
Mhm.
Caveat, 9:30. Link to tics on my Insta bio if you're
Yes.
interested. But yeah, that's something I'm really excited about because I normally do very short sets and I really want to try to build a cohesive narrative kind of hour.
Mhm.
And I see, yeah, that's so I'm trying it like it's kind of like a workshop a little bit too,
Great.
and I'm really excited to do it.
Well, I don't have my planner right in front of me, but if I'm free on that Friday night, which I think I actually may be, I would love to come down and watch you. That sounds like an amazing time.
If you're free, I'll totally comp you.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would
Yes,
let
yes,
me look. I will let you know after we record because I
yes.
would I love Caveat and I just would love to see you live.
The Caveat is one of my favorite. I love the fucking Caveat. The show's the
Yeah,
bomb.
let's make that happen because that sounds great. The only thing that would I think I would have going on is maybe I have an improv show, but if I don't, I will be there 100%, Dylan. This is great. How
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah. I'm like sorry to like shamelessly and like
No,
I
please. That's
also
what you're
if
here
yeah,
for.
yes, exactly. You're
You
right.
know
You're
what I
right.
mean? Like we are
You're
here
right.
to keep spreading the good word, and the good word is
That's
Dylan.
can you write that down?
Yeah, do you have a title for your show yet?
No, but it's gonna be I'm here to spread the good word, and the good word is Dylan.
Amen, baby. Amen. Now, Dylan,
Okay,
where can everybody follow you, find you, check out your stuff?
yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Dylan Adler _, on Twitter at Dylan Adler 6, and on TikTok at Dylan Adler 7. So, it's basically a bunch of teenagers from Aspen, Colorado took the handle before I could get it. So that's why
Yeah,
it's like that. And if the link to the tics to my solo show is in my Instagram bio.
I'll leave it in the link to the episode as well. So our friends in New York can
Yay.
come out and support you. Dylan, that was a wild night story. You are a wonderful
Wild.
energy person. And I've
Thank
loved having
you.
you on. I look forward to, let's fingers crossed I can make that show because I look forward to meeting you in person. And if not, then
Yes.
some other time in the future.
Absolutely. That'd be so much fun. That'd be so dope.
So much fun. Dylan, this was so awesome. Thank you for doing the show. And
Thank
we'll talk
you.
soon, okay?
Thank you for having me. Talk soon.
Absolutely. Bye.